Hey everybody, NAMM 2020 hanging out with Sarah Longfield at the Fishman booth.
Yep.
And nice to see you.
Yeah, nice to be here. Thanks for having me.
NAMM, it's always a chaotic time. 3 days in, my voice has gone down in pitch probably, a lot since Thursday.
Yeah, I totally feel that. I don't exist yet, so apologies in advance.
Well, first off, I want to say congratulations on what you've built on your YouTube channel and that whole world you've done. I mean, your musicianship is incredible.
Thank you.
You do a lot of cool things that I appreciate. I mean, aside from how hard you rock, which is great, the fact that you make fun little videos on ukuleles and do these other things is really neat.
Thank you.
And so, how much time do you spend? I mean, you get really creative in your videos. On the back end, the creative side, aside from the playing, how much time do you spend on that?
It kind of depends. I think my time, I like focusing on creating more than I like shooting videos per se, so they're more like the afterthought after the music. But I met a bunch of people in the YouTube community, and they were so helpful and so kind, so they kind of like gave me ideas for other things to work with. So now I focus on more of the artistic side of the videos as well. So I don't know, it usually takes about like a week to get a video done.
And are you getting really into like cameras, lighting? I mean, all of this stuff on the back end of it too? You have a team helping you?
Oh, I don't have a team. Someday.
Right.
I wanted to get into the camera and the lighting and all the gear and the equipment but I just like making music.
Yeah, right.
So
it's a whole other world. Yeah.
If I did get a team someday, that would be great. I think it's a really cool thing, and I like the art and the science behind it, but that's just like not my expertise, I would say. So.
Well, your videos are really creative and very cool. So congratulations.
Thank you.
So what's going on with you musically right now?
Right now I'm working on another record. We did a few tours last year, and now I'm kind of taking a break from touring to focus more on just like internet stuff, do more YouTube things, more studio stuff, lesson session stuff. So right now I just have like a bunch of things in the works. I decided to go to college, so now I'm balancing college and that, which has been interesting. So.
Going to college in Wisconsin?
No, in Minnesota.
Okay.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
So when did you upload your first video?
I think it was like 2007. I saw this other girl, I think her name was Megan the Metal Queen on YouTube, and she posted a Lamb of God cover, but it was like the rhythm guitar part, and I was like, I can play the lead part. And then I just filmed myself playing it, and that was my first video, I think, way back when.
Nice. Now, obviously you love metal, a lot of great, I'm a big fan of a lot of that music as well. What else inspires you musically, aside from that style?
Well, when I was younger, I didn't really have guitar lessons, but I had like violin lessons and piano lessons. So I did start technically like classically trained. So a lot of classical music does influence what I do, and a lot of electronic music too. I'm into I love Aphex Twin, Flashbulb. Like those are two really huge influences for me right now. Bonobo. So it's just like I try to meld organic instruments with electronic stuff as my sound is evolving. It started more metal and heavier, and now it's just like, I don't know. I don't know where it's going. So.
That's good. It's good to get influences from all over the place, isn't it?
Yeah, totally.
Now, do you ever envision you playing a bigger guitar that's more than 8 strings?
I've thought about it.
Would they make one?
I think so. I've tried a 10-string, and that was fun. It was just like, I don't really have that big of hands. A lot of people think I have like huge hands, and I don't, so it was hard.
I mean, the necks are like this big, you know.
You have to be like, oh man. So 8's good. I'm comfortable with 8.
Very cool.
Yep.
Now I got a strange question. I mean, it's probably not that strange really, but concerning the whole YouTube influencer world and putting up these videos, I was doing a little bit of research on you, and just because Natalie told me we're going to do this interview, and you put out a video that just made me crack up a lot. You were playing like improv jazz while you were getting some of your YouTube comments read.
Yeah, that video, I was so behind on my videos, and I was like, I don't know what to do. I'm out of ideas. I'm so uninspired. And I was just reading my comments because I'm just a glutton for punishment. And there was just so many bad ones. And I was like, Derek, can you read me these while I just play this bad jazz thing that I wrote? And so he's just sitting there for hours just like being super mean to me. It was so hard to keep a straight face. But yeah, that video was really fun.
It's amazing. If you put yourself out there in the world like that, you can't help. People are going to say a bunch of incredibly harsh and stupid things. And I think the way you just made that you took the piss a little bit. I mean, you made fun of it in a weird way. It's in a great way, I should say, not a weird way.
It was totally weird.
But it's so. What's it like when you put yourself in the world? Like you invite people to be, like invisible and to say whatever they think they want to say. Does that ever, I guess, bum you out sometimes? Or you just kind of, after all this time now, you just sort of whatever and you kind of go on with your life because.
I don't know. I mean, I started doing this when I was 14, so I was so young. And I was getting the same comments when I was 14 as I do now. I mean, so it's kind of like I made the decision when I was young, like, this is just a part of this, and this visibility is something that I have to get comfortable with if I want to do it. And I backed off for a few years. I was like, no, like, I'm just going to go to college and do something else, and music is fun, but not like that fun. And then some things just kind of took off, and I was like, all right, so I guess like this is here, this is what it is. And so it's kind of like all critique, positive and negative, it's kind of whatever, People are like, oh, I love you so much. You're like a girl and you're doing this thing. You're like, okay, well, thanks, but that doesn't really change what I'm doing. And then they're like, oh, I hate you. Like, you're so horrible at everything you've ever done. And I'm like, okay, well, that still doesn't really change what I'm going to do. So, I think it's more funny than anything, I guess, at this point. It's just.
Well, that's good. It's a great attitude to have. I was just curious how you feel about that, all that stuff.
It's fine.
Now, you have a signature guitar?
Yep.
Tell us about that.
So me and Ola he's Ola Strandberg, he owns the company. We've been in talks for a few years about finally getting a signature model with the paint job that I did out, because we've had so many people request it. And now he has like the means and the production and the people behind it to do it. So last year at NAMM, we just unveiled the whole thing, and the reception has been insane, like way better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I don't know, low expectations, but it's good. I'm really happy about it. We're going to be working on some new stuff coming out in the future. Can't talk about anything yet, but yeah, it's been fun.
Nice. And what are you studying in school?
Illustration and teaching. So
okay.
I can do like remote design work, and then when I get old and I can't tour, I can go be an art teacher.
Well, that's cool. You got a plan for your whole life, that sounds like.
Yep.
Rocket.
So.
Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me for a few minutes here. Come back and visit us at Sweetwater soon. That'd be awesome to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Cool.
Yes.
Thanks, everybody.